What's poppin', guys? It's your boy 2Bros1Game here today to bring you some TF2 news. Now, most of you might know that recently TF2 had a major leak that was over 61 gigabytes. Keep in mind that TF2 was only about half that, like about 21 to 22 gigabytes. But this leak includes a few cool things such as maps, models, textures that were either scrapped or unused, and today we're going to be covering and theorizing how these would have been in the game. Let's take a look. Chapter 1. Maps. Now in this leak was a bunch of unused maps and game modes, some of which are super old, like beta old, like probably like 2007, 2006, probably when it was first created, such as Dust Bowl 2, which had ladders on the map. Now keep in mind, Team Fortress Classic had ladders in order to climb up and down. There's not any in Team Fortress 2, obviously, but some also seem to be alternate versions of beloved maps, such as King of the Hill Bathwater, and even a beta Mercenary Park. But there are also a bunch of popular unused maps that people know, such as Arty Asteroid, which is a pretty popular unused map that people have created into, other community servers, and a VIP map called VIP Hunted, meaning that VIP mode was just so close to being added, and also as well as PL Cactus Canyon. There was also even a funky looking chess map, which was probably used to promote that weird TF2 chess set that for some reason exists, because TF2 had that weird thing where they were trying to reach out with like board games and card games and whatever. And there's also some lesser known maps, or maps that no one really thought would be in there, such as a couple MVM maps called MVM Forest and MVM Mining Town, which was probably an early version of Coal Town because of how similar they look and just the name as well. There was also an original version of Powerhouse, an unfinished train yard map, and even a sky airship-like map that looks very similar to a community-created map called Balloon Race, which I actually love that game mode. It's one of my favorites to play with friends, and it's really interesting. I'm wondering how this could have been. It could have been like the same way, because, I mean, in this picture you see a couple of demo men, but either like Control Point, King of the Hill, or maybe just how the Balloon Race is. And lastly, an unnamed King of the Hill map that looks really bare bones, other than a few like, squares and mazes, which I wonder what it would have been like. Chapter 2. Models. Now, there weren't any exciting models released, just a couple simple models, like Placeholder Sentry Gun, which was just a turret from Portal, the model for the Witch from the poster, which was an early version of Miss Pauling, this is a little fun fact, and a little unused model of the Civilian, which is really blank, and finally a 3D rendering of the TF2 website marks. That's, obviously on the website that shows like the game fixes, the comics, and stuff like that. And that's it. Right? Wrong, because hidden in game files is a level 4 sentry gun. Yes, you heard me right, a level 4 sentry gun. Now, not much is known about it, other than the fact that it was going to be an MVM upgrade that could be placed once per round. It could get up, like walk around, and destroy enemies, which sounds pretty damn cool if you ask me. And what I think would also be pretty cool is they could also probably use it as like how the Gunslinger is, or maybe a new PDA. But it probably would have been game breaking, and I understand why they used it, and also didn't really fit the style as much. And just a special mention, there's a weird looking giant robot thing, probably from MVM, that in the models. It could either be an early version of the Sentry Buster, or just an also version of the level 4 Sentry, or what it could have been like. Maybe merge the two together for like walking or whatever. And but really last of the models was also a bunch of unused taunts that obviously never made it into the game, which I'll show at the end once I'm doing my outro, so you can see what a few of those would have been like. It's all the ones that I'm able to find. Chapter 3. Miscellaneous. Lastly, let's talk about some small, unused stuff that really don't fit in either of the categories, but it's still really cool to talk about. There was a couple scout weapons that were both red and blue, which kind of just for both teams, which looked pretty cool. I would kind of prefer that over the original, scattergun and bat, but I honestly think that could be a really cool war paint for just all weapons for red and blue. There was also a Caster's Quarterly poster, which the Witch was from, that I mentioned earlier, and finally an unused, more bloody version of the Bone Saw, which looks pretty damn metal to me, and I honestly would love that either as a separate weapon or just as a redesign for the Bone Saw. So is this a big thing? Not really. I mean, in my opinion, we aren't getting any new major updates anytime, nor does any of this really affect things as badly as people are saying. I mean, look at all the possibilities. People can take these unused maps and models for community servers and finish some and finish some unfinished maps to make it more unique and make it just like their own thing, or finish what Valve never did. I feel like TF2 is being more and more community controlled and driven each day and each year, and to me, that's amazing. TF2 is now the most played Steam game, and that's because of the community and the hashtag save TF2 moment. In short, this leak is only the calm before the storm. There's sure to be more on the way, more leaks, more taunts, more whatever, and the community is going to go wild. Sure, it might not, last as long, or maybe, they might be small, but I feel like these could be used in some way. I would love to see all these taunts in game. There's a couple of my favorite, like, I don't know if you guys know about the high five fail taunts, which I'll try to link in the description. But, until next time, this is 2 Bros 1 Game, signing off. Also, just want to quick mention, the fucking original picture for the coconut JPEG was also found in the files, which is insane to me that we found the original, which this is going to be my new background for my computer. Just thought this would be amazing. I just added this in post. I totally forgot about this. Thank you guys. See you next time. Bye.